Paracythins, Chapter 5. Still he smiles. It's been 3 days since Gabriel's departure, and we start off in Lewis's room as he tries to put on some pants, but falls in his attempt. He then slams his fist on the shelf, leading a single picture to fall as he says, "Damn it, if you can't put on a single pair of pants." But he then notices the picture that fell on the very shelf he slammed his hand on. As we pan to see him and his brother, we see Lewis as he says, "If I was only stronger, huh?" As it pans back to the picture and he says, huh, "Right, brother." Dave says his brother's name, Adam. As we look at the picture, we cut back to Lewis's face. It seems to be crying but smiling at the same time. Lewis then says, "I'm gonna get stronger so I can protect mom and dad. So don't worry. Just rest easy and let your little brother take it from here, okay?" He then looks up at the roof and says, "Go now. It's fine, Adam." We then get a flashback of them as kids as they run holding hands. As we hear Lewis state, "You ran your entire life." As we see Lewis slow down saying, "I can't, Adam, my legs. It feels like my legs are going to fall off." Adam turns around. "Good thing it wasn't a race. If it was, I would have smoked you." As Lewis falls on his brother's shoulders, Adam looks at him and says, "Fine. I guess I have to carry you home." The final flashback is that of Adam and Lewis laughing as Adam is carrying Lewis on his back. And Lewis states, "But the race is finally over, and you won." We cut back to Lewis as he smirks at the roof. Knock, knock. Before Lewis can even say anything, the door opens, revealing the girl from the battle as she screams when she realizes his pants was down, then realizing the pictures in his hand. Lewis screams, "Kay." Normally people wait for someone to say open when they knock on their door. As he tries to hide his crotch with his pillow, she states as he points at him, "You better not be doing any hanky-panky in here." He states, "No, I was trying to put on my pants. Just trying to put on my pants, but I fell." She brushes over. "Oh, let me help you then." He puts his hand up screaming, "No, I can do this." He then attempts to try to put on his pants once again, but his injured leg, it has trouble lifting as he falls over once again, but she catches him, saying to him, "Even the strongest man needs help every now and then." Lewis blushes and says, "Fine, just this one time I'll let you help me." She then goes and helps him put on his pants, but as they finish, she says, "There you go. Now you want me to go get your crutches?" Lewis states, "No, I can handle it from here," as he walks towards the crutches, leaning on the wall for support. Before he can even get to the crutches, Kay looks at the photo and he dropped and says, "It seems you dropped something." As he goes to pick it up, she realizes what it is and she says, "Lewis, you fine, aren't you?" "The hell are you talking about?" Lewis states as he reaches the crutches. He turns around looking at her as she says, "It's just I've never seen you cry ever since, he died. I just want to make sure you was not burying any of your feelings or anything." Lewis goes over to her saying, as he puts the picture back where it came from, "Do you know what Adam will call me if he saw me cry just because he died?" She looks on at him and says, "No, I don't." Lewis looks at her and says, "He'll tell me no matter how many times I cried, it won't bring him back." And looking back, I never had a bad memory of him. The times I spent with him were filled with laughter and joy. So rather than crying, I move on, honoring his memory like he would do for me, fighting for the future so everyone else can be filled with laughs and joy. He turns around smiling at her. She looks at him, blushing, thinking even though all the things he's gone through, he still smiles. He truly is amazing. She then states, "Hey, what about we go to the marketplace today? Just you and me." Louis rubs his head. "I don't know. We do have a trading session today, and I really don't want to make the captain upset if we miss." She states, as she gets closer, grabbing his arm, "We'll be back before it even starts." Louis looks at her, saying, "Fine, but only if we get some pancakes on the way." She screams in excitement, "Deal." The next couple pages is that of a montage of them having a good time, them eating pancakes, them buying a couple drinks. We even see her buying some clothes. We see him buy some new gear. And the final page of that montage is a close up of her smiling, having a good time, seeming to have the best time of her life. As they walk, we see the sun setting in front of them. Louis looks down, saying, "It's about time we head back." She looks at him as he states, "I guess it is," as he frowns. He pats her on the head, saying, "We have to do this again soon." And she bursts out in happiness as he says, "Yeah, definitely." As they enter the training room, gearing up, the vice captain looks at them, saying, "Oh, look who finally decided to show up." They both say at the same time, "Sorry, Vice Captain." "You think such fine soldiers like you two will have enough common sense not to be late," the Vice Captain states. He then looks down and sighs, "But I guess being late is better than not coming at all." As they take a sigh of relief, the Vice Captain slaps him in the back of the head, saying, "But late is still inexcusable." As they all gather around the Vice Captain, he says, "Today you will have a go to stop me or at least slow me down before I reach that orb," as he points to it. "If I pick it up in either of my hands, you guys fail today's lesson. The time limit will be at least 5 minutes long." He then smirks as he says, "And by the way, if you fail, you all have to do my laundry." They all moan. "Okay, ready yourselves, troops. On my mark," the Vice Captain states as he raises his hand. He then lowers it and screams, "Now." They all charge at him, giving everything they got. But everything gets deflected by his metal shards. The fat one then charges at him, head on, hoping to slow him down a little bit. He impacts head on with the Vice Captain. The Vice Captain states, "Poor Manny. If that's the best you got?" Then he then pushes him to the side. The giant one jumps in front of the orb, expanding his body, blocking the orb from the Vice Captain, saying, "What you gonna do now?" The lightning one rumbles the floor, knocking the Vice Captain off of his balance, then striking him a lightning bolt. The Vice Captain stands up, saying, "Well done, Neil." Kay rushes towards him, kick him in the face, but he's not even fazed by this as he grabs her leg and then throws her away. Louis catches her and sets her down. He then sends a fireball speeding towards the Vice Captain. The Vice Captain blocks it, saying, "I thought you'll be better than that, Louis." But he then notices the second fireball next to him as he smirks as it explodes. He is thrown back. He then stands up, saying, "Okay, count me impressed." Kate comes in once again, kicking him in the face. This time it works. He thinks, "But how?" As he looks over to see Lena, as he thinks, "Of course, I forgot. Along with healing, she can boost anyone's, including herself, past their limits." He then looks at Kay. "Clever girl." The shield one comes out of nowhere, crushing him, the vice captain, with a bundle of shields, burying him. We see the shield start to crack as the vice captain then breaks out of it. He then looks up at the shield one as he says, Thomas, for a man as smart as you, I was expecting far better. He starts to head back towards the giant, saying, okay, Michael, do you honestly believe that you can block the orb from me? Especially like this. I don't think this was the best play. He then punches Michael so hard that even in his giant form, he throws up, reverting back to normal size. The vice captain looks at him pathetic as he looks up to see the orb is gone, and he thinks, but how can this be? As he turns around seeing the orb lying on a shield, he also sees everyone but Michael ready to fight. But from behind him, Michael grows once again, saying, it's time for round 2. Neil and Lewis scream now as they combine their powers to create an electric fireball. The vice captain nearly dodges it, but Manny comes out of nowhere, charging him and sliding under his feet, sending the vice captain on his back. Kay then jumps and kicks him deeper into the earth, thanks to the power given to her by Lena. As she jumps back, as Michael slams his fist, sending him even deeper into the earth. Thomas once again slams multiple shields on him, burying him, but they break once again. You see everyone surprised. He says, okay, my turn. He sends metal shards everywhere, knocking everyone out. As everyone lies on the ground, the orb falls to the ground. The vice captain then picks it up, saying, y'all did better than I expected. I mean it. Every one of you went over and beyond today. But you still lost. So you all know what that means. You all have to do my laundry. As he laughs uncontrollably. They all say, no fair. I say, moan. And the vice captain says, well, life is not fair, kids. That's just how it works. And a deal is a deal, so get to marching. But before anyone moves, someone barges in saying, sir, I fear we quite have some bad news. The vice captain looks at them saying, what happened, Private? It's Gabriel, sir. That the guards that were with him failed to return. And I fear that something happened to them along the road. The soldier says, trying to catch her breath. We'll take a look at it right away. As he turns back to everyone, screaming, okay everyone, get ready. We're about to head out, the vice captain screams. As everyone starts to get up to go get ready, the vice captain stops Lewis, saying, it's one thing for you to join us in training, but with those injuries like yours, I cannot allow you to go on the battlefield. So you will have to stay back for this one, okay? Lewis understands, knowing that the captain only means him well. He says, I understand. But the captain then turns, but Lewis stops him, saying, one thing, Vice Captain, promise me you bring Gabriel back safe. The captain turns around, saying, I promise. As the group arrives to the carriage, they see the bodies of the guards. Neil looks around in the back to trying to find Gabriel. Nope, I don't see him. But that's already obvious. The enemies probably knew what he was in his whereabouts. And knowing that, how his power is, it isn't surprising they wouldn't him all for themselves. The vice captain saying, Gabriel, I promise I will find you, and then I will save you. As it pans out the forest, as it transitions, showing Gabriel dangling from the ceiling in a cave-like environment. As the paracythins pulls up a chair, saying, After all this time, we finally meet once again, as he unhoods himself to reveal it's Titus. The chapter ends with Titus saying, "Now, let's have a talk about your symbiote." As the text reads, as he heads towards the future once again, he clashes with the demons from his past.